call the Community Development Authority to order at 5:33. Will we please stand for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ermeling,
Here.
Deason, Kern,
Here.
Knopf,
No.
Hagedorf,
Here.
Winkles.
Here.
When I was looking at the names and I'm going, okay, is someone still coming yet or not? All right, public comments. I have none. Do you have any online?
No, just staff online.
All right. Minutes of previous meeting, March 10th of 2020.
Approve.
Motion by Lisa,
Second.
second by Ted. On the question, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Acknowledge work product transmittals. There is none. Educational presentation and reports. 5, update on TIF District Number 1.
I'll get a quick summary. So TIF District Number 1 is the TIF that will be closing. I know some of you actually were here in the early years of the TIF and through the project amendment that we did probably 6-7 years ago. This TIF is now closing. We have recovered all our costs. Weston Avenue was one of the last projects that we completed using TIF funds. So I got a nice little summary. TIF 1 added $354 million in assessed value to the village since 1998, and the total assessed value was $1.7 billion. I got some pictures of the projects that were completed in the TIF. The TIF incurred $86 million in project costs. Of that, 71.1 was invested in infrastructure, with 5.7 going to property acquisition, 4.7 to development incentives, 3.7 for administration. And the total increment collected during its life was $95.7 million. Less. And the total debt issued was $81.3 million. I highlighted some of the significant projects. Any questions or comments on TIF District Number 1?
The funding is there now for closing.
We have enough funds that we are able to close it. We do have debt outstanding. That's why we are required to call this meeting. The revenue bonds that the TIF district issued were CDA revenue bonds issued by the Community Development Authority. They were not village bonds, they were Community Development Authority bonds. So with that, upon calling, we need the CDA to call those bonds. So we have debt payments through 2031. And this meeting is here to call and say all those that hold the debt for the CDA expecting payment through 2031. We are going to call that and pay you in full with your interest, and we will no longer have any debt issued for those bonds.
And we have enough revenue to cover that.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I want to just make sure that's on record. So thank you. Okay,
Any remaining revenue?
We are not actually done yet. We still have, there's $70-some thousand of Weston Avenue coming in. So we do not have final numbers yet.
If there is any remaining, it is divided back to the,
It'll go to the taxing districts. Yep.
in the proportion that it was taxed from them. So if there is any remaining portion, it doesn't totally stay with the village. It will go back to the NTC, to the school district, to the county. And our portion would stay with us, but it wouldn't be the total portion of whatever is remaining.
any other questions?
Then going forward, then, so these would be on the regular tax roll now? So then will that lower the taxes
Yes,
that are
there'll be a
available?
significant tax. I think it's significant. There will be a pretty decent sized tax rate reduction for specifically the village, I'm not gonna speak for the other taxing entities, but you should, because what I noticed, like, so last year we had a significant adjustment to our TIF. They took, it was called a prior year adjustment. So they reduced the value of our TIF by like $76 million last year. That really, I don't know if you noticed your tax bill, but it actually went down. And that was part of the reason why it went down, is because of the adjustment in the TIF value. So when we do it again, we take all that TIF value away and put it on the general tax roll, you should see another significant reduction. But what also happens is the amount of our allocation, like the percentage of the county levy that the village paid, always was reduced by the value of the TIF. So now we will be paying a larger percentage of the county tax, the school tax, and the technical tax. So even though our rate will be going down, paying a larger portion of those levies for those other taxing districts. If that makes sense?
Because now that's county taxable is what. you're
Yeah,
saying.
it's all.
Or school district, yeah, just like regular.
And then when does that take, is that for the 2026 or is that going to affect?
For next year. So your tax bills right now, you're gonna see a lot of changes. So we'll have to see how everything shakes out. I'm excited to see what because the DOR will give us the final numbers of how much of that we can increase our levy. So the state will allow us to increase our levy. We're estimating around $400,000. We'll be able to increase our levy, but the rest of that will have to be a tax rate decrease. So with all the numbers moving together, there's going to be a nice benefit, but we're not quite sure what all those numbers look like yet.
Sure. Understandable.
The other questions, comments? Okay,
I just got one other one, I guess. So then obviously this one's gonna close. When is the other one scheduled to close?
So
It's a good segue.
that's the next,
Oh, sorry, the
that's
next-
item 6, update on TIF number 2.
So TIF district number 2 was born in 2004. It covers the land around Schofield Avenue. They added $22 million in assessed value to the village since 2004. Our last large project that we completed was Schofield Avenue. The reconstruction of Schofield Avenue, it was $5.8 million we spent on that. Previous years, that TIF was originally created for like the street beautification with all the medians and the bollards and stuff. So it was originally created for that, but with the project amendment that we adopted a few years ago, maybe 6 years ago, we did the project amendment for TIF 2. It allowed us and extended the project scope to include street reconstruction. So with that project amendment, we were able to complete the reconstruction of Schofield Avenue. That project was a little bit larger than originally thought, and with the state adjustment to the value of TIF 2, they gave us a very large reduction last year. Without the large reduction, we should have been able to pay off this project by next year, but with a deficit of $841,000, I think it's going to take a couple years to pay off. So this TIF district is going to have to stay open until the deficit is gone. There are no other expenditures going to this TIF district. We do have the administration that will keep going there as long as the TIF is open. But hopefully in a couple of years, this TIF district will also be closed. There is no debt in this TIF anymore. It's only going to be the repaying of this project. So.
Question?
Remind me, how long can a TIF be open?
So this one can be open to 2031. The expenditure period ended in 2026. We're already past the expenditure period, so no new grants, no new projects, just the administration is allowed as long as the TIF is open, but we're just gonna work on recovering the cost and hopefully being able to pay it off in a couple of years.
So likely we'll still close early than its scheduled date.
Yep.
Just as a side note, as you were saying that on TIF number one, all those administration costs are gonna come back.
I was just gonna ask that same question.
Yeah, and that all will come back to the general fund.
Yeah, we have about 200 and some $1,000 that will be coming back to the general fund for administration costs.
So that's part of the monies that we'll get, the extra.
With the levy.
Pretty good deal though. Get rid of the debt, pick up a little bit of
Mhm.
cost allocation.
It's nice to, actually, I got to see it. I was here when it opened, and I got to see it when it closed.
I love that enthusiasm about it.
Yes. Hey, I've been waiting for this. Okay, anything else, Jessica?
Unless you have questions.
Any more questions for Jessica?
I guess the only question I had would be, is there any talk of starting a new TIF or not even?
Not at this moment. There's been change to TIF law. There's also been a lot of housing TIFs that have come in. Plan Commission has had some preliminary discussions about that, but they're very new in state law, so we'll see kind of how they progress.
I don't even remember where it came from anymore, where someone was suggesting that one corridor out kind of on, by Jay and through there, trying to promote that is maybe another TIF, small.
That meeting, and I don't remember what it was either,
Right.
recalling correctly.
I think if we had the right project that someone had come forward and if it was a right fit, it would be something we would consider for sure, but.
Because
On the
one
horizon.
thing I can remember is it definitely would not be as big as this one was. Okay. All right, old business. I don't have any, I guess. All right. New business, approval of resolution authorizing the redemption of the Community Development Lease Revenue Bonds, Series 2017A, dated July 13th, 2017. Wow. What is your pleasure?
I'll make the motion to approve the resolution.
Okay. Ray Hogan, Todd, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mark. On the question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. I didn't have to read this whole thing. Okay. Thank you. All right, remarks from staff. Nothing? Okay, remarks from commission members. Todd, anything? Steve? Mark?
My only question is, does the CDA then stay open? Because it stays open until TIF 2 closes.
It
And does it do the
doesn't,
same thing?
yeah, because TIF 2 doesn't have debt, so it wouldn't need to. I think it's something that if the committee wants to meet back and talk about, otherwise the CDA likely could disband. It is part of ordinance though, so we would take it out of ordinance. I know in the past, many years ago, the CDA might like visit businesses or do tours of, businesses to learn more about what was happening there. Maybe more of an advocacy role.
Did that in 2018. We're pretty active.
We used to go tour businesses within the TIF
Yeah.
to see how things were going and just get a pulse of what was happening, but I don't think I've done one since 2018.
Right.
And since 2020
We
for a
haven't met.
meeting, so, yeah.
So I mean, it would just be, like you said, the TIF 1 and 2. If 2 doesn't have any debt, I mean, it has debt, but it isn't.
TIF 2 doesn't have any debt.
Okay. It's gotta just pay
Collecting
for
revenues right now to pay off the deficit, right, is really what it is, and
Right.
once the deficit's gone, it disappears.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then you still have to formally close.
Which the board would do, just like we did by April 15th of whatever year. The Board of Trustees would close it.
Okay.
So a future conversation, if there's something that,
Really, we serve at the boards at this point. We only
Right.
serve at the boards.
Right.
wishes, right?
Right,
It's nothing to administer or.
right. The board, this may be something that we should probably bring to the board to find out what
Their wishes are.
if they want to just leave it out there for maybe future, or something, but
I just asked her to add it to board's agenda for next month.
yeah.
Sort of their pleasure. That's the
Yeah.
word.
I would guess everyone's interested though in other committees, if not this committee, right? Like. We always have openings other places.
They're trying to figure out how long I've been on this committee. I think it's either 2002 or 2003.
We met a lot of times, right?
We sure did early, yeah.
Yeah.
That predates Daniel.
Just heard Jessica mention we still have an opening on finance and HR.
Finance and HR.
See ya.
Oh, that's up your alley, finance. I know it is.
Todd's, I
No.
was thinking more along Parks and Recreation.
Ooh.
That'd be more my style. Not
I'm
finance.
making a note of that, Steve.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so I have nothing to add, other than it was nice meeting with the group here one time. I've been around, but I haven't been on the committee, so. I was, but we didn't eat.
For many years, I looked at the notes, I was like, wow.
Future, items, nothing. May entertain a motion to adjourn
And to adjourn.
by Lisa. Second by Todd. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried. We adjourn at 5:50.